If you are thinking about turning your home into a short-term rental in Charleston, there is one important thing you need to understand first. You cannot simply list your property online and start booking guests. The city of Charleston has very specific rules, and operating without approval can lead to fines and legal trouble. So, before you advertise, accept reservations, or welcome your first guest, here is what you need to know. A short-term rental, or STR, is any rental of a home, apartment, or bedroom for between 1 and 29 consecutive days. In Charleston, you must receive zoning approval, pass a fire marshal inspection, obtain a certificate of operation, and secure a city business license before you can legally operate. Until all of those steps are complete, you are not allowed to advertise or rent the property. For residential short-term rentals, the most important requirement is that the property must be your primary residence. You must be the record owner of the home, and you must live there at least 183 days each year. In addition, you are required to stay overnight at the property whenever guests are present, and you must be reachable at all times or designate someone who can respond to emergencies 24 hours a day. The city only allows one short-term rental unit per property, and the home must qualify for South Carolina's 4% legal residence tax rate. Residential STRs are divided into 3 categories based on location within the city. Category 1 applies to properties in the historic district. Category 2 applies to certain other downtown peninsula properties. Category 3 applies to properties outside the peninsula. The category determines what additional documentation may be required during the application process. When applying, you must submit a completed and notarized application along with a site plan showing buildings and parking, exterior photographs, and a floor plan that clearly identifies which rooms will be used for short-term rental guests. You must also provide a copy of your driver's license and proof of your 4% tax status. Applications that are incomplete will not move forward. Before final approval is granted, you must complete fire and safety requirements. This includes submitting a fire safety self-survey, documenting smoke alarms, providing sprinkler or alarm inspection reports if applicable, and passing a fire marshal inspection. Approval is not issued until the property successfully passes inspection. Insurance is also mandatory. You must carry general liability coverage of at least $1 million per occurrence, and the policy must remain active for as long as you operate the short-term rental. Once you begin operating, there are ongoing responsibilities. You must maintain a guest register that includes names and dates of stay. If you choose to serve food, you may serve breakfast only. You must comply with all city, county, and state tax laws, allow annual inspections, and include your STR permit number in all advertisements and online listings. No more than 4 adults may occupy the rental at one time. In addition to the STR permit, you are required to obtain a separate city business license. The business license must be issued before you begin operating, and it expires annually on April 30th. Your STR permit also expires 1 year from the date it is issued and must be renewed each year. If the property changes ownership, the permit does not transfer to the new owner. For commercially zoned properties, different rules apply. Commercial short-term rentals are allowed only in approved commercial areas, and each unit requires a separate application. These rentals are limited to one family at a time with no more than 4 unrelated guests. Shared amenities serving multiple STR units are not permitted, and no meals other than breakfast may be served. Fire marshal approval and a business license are still required. Tax compliance is critical. STR operators must collect and remit all required state and local taxes, including sales and accommodation taxes. Depending on the county in which the property is located, total taxes generally range from 12 to 14%. Even if you use an online booking platform, you are ultimately responsible for ensuring that all required local taxes are properly collected and paid. Failure to do so can result in substantial penalties. The most important takeaway is this: you may not advertise, accept bookings, or operate a short-term rental in Charleston until every approval is complete and your permits are in hand. If you are unsure about whether your property qualifies, it's always best to confirm eligibility before beginning the application process. This is general information, not legal advice. Rules change and vary by property. Get a property report at lodgecompliance.com to confirm what applies to you.